Young children tend to stress their moms more than their dads. They will see their daddy sitting down there, they'll see just say, mommy, mommy. Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is the first corner here. Thank you for the love on my previous YouTube videos. I really appreciate. Thank you. And God bless you. My please, you're just going to manage this panting pregnant woman's voice. You're going to manage it the way it is. By the grace of God, I can say that this is the first pregnancy that is above 32 weeks. Um, my first pregnancy was 31 weeks and 3 days. This pregnancy currently is already above 32 weeks. And you don't know how grateful I am to God for this privilege. Sometimes when one is thinking about pregnancy, you might say, I might not really remember. When one mother say, your man gbagbe, like we tend to forget what happened during the previous pregnancy. I don't think that's the case with me. This pregnancy brought some PTSD I didn't even know existed. I'm telling you. Some of the things I thought I had moved on from, everything just came back as if they were fresh. When I was 31 weeks with my first pregnancy, I didn't know I had placenta previa. I just started bleeding, and then I was rushed from my place of work to the hospital where I registered at, only for us to discover that they were on strike. And I had to be rushed to a private hospital. When I got there, I was told that I had placenta previa and the baby was in distress. See, it was really overwhelming. I was placed on steroids for 2 days just to keep the baby, but it was a nightmare. And 2 days after, I was placed on admission 31 weeks and 1 day. And 2 days after, it was just God. They had to take my daughter out, and imagine having to put me to sleep and me waking up and not seeing my baby for the first 3 days because she was taken to another hospital in the car. Um, I don't wish what I experienced on my worst enemy. This kind of made it difficult for me to even think of getting pregnant again. I was always scared. How am I going to get pregnant again? I hope I don't go through this again. Imagine always researching just to be sure that placenta previa happening the first time does not guarantee it happening the second time. So it was just so much. But cannot just be looking at my daughter being the only child. She was always saying, "Mommy, she wants a brother, she wants a sister," and everything. I just had to take the leap of faith. And I think when it was getting towards the second trimester, I started having fear of the unknown. There are lots of issues that have been happening in this pregnancy. Like what happened during my first pregnancy wasn't even as bad as this. And I had my daughter at 31 weeks. So what is going to happen? I think it was just the devil that was just trying to put that fear in my heart. But I can just say God has been faithful. He has been faithful. And I'm over 32 weeks pregnant now, which is far more than when I had my daughter. So, what God cannot do does not exist. During this pregnancy, one of the things I was assured about by the medical team and also by my mom was that no two pregnancies are the same. That you experience some things in the first pregnancy, even scientifically, it does not necessarily mean that you experience it in the second pregnancy, that I should just be calm. I even had to speak with a psychologist. They just had to do everything possible just to calm my nerves, that everything will be under control as long as I'm expressive about whatever difficulty I'm passing through and being consistent with whatever thing they tell me to do. Initially, because I had a CS with my daughter, I wanted to do trial of labor, but due to some health reasons, like I said, the first childbirth was a traumatic one. So I feel one of the things abroad, or I would say in other hospitals, is that if you are the CS, or I wouldn't even call it, I wouldn't even say CS, when you're having another child in another country, they try as much as possible to get enough information about the first pregnancy you had, just to be sure that there are no complications. They asked for medical records from the first hospital where I had my daughter then, just to confirm if I would be able to do trial of labor or I would need a scheduled C-section, how many weeks I have to carry the baby before the C-section, just to be double sure. When I also had my daughter then, that was 4 years ago, almost 4 years ago. So I'm older now. There are lots of things. For example, you know, what I used to think of when I was pregnant with my first daughter. I will always be saying, I'm so tired. I'm so tired. But see, my dear, if this is your first pregnancy, wait till your second pregnancy. It does not necessarily mean that the second pregnancy is more difficult. It just means that you have little time to rest. Your child is always saying, Mommy, Mommy, Mommy. Imagine me thinking that maybe if I space my pregnancy and make sure that my daughter is like 3 years old before I take in, it will reduce the stress. Oh, maybe she's more vocal, she's more expressive, she can say things that we understand. Unlike getting pregnant when your child is still like 1 year old. But see, it still doesn't mean it's not stressful. There are lots of times you have to get up. There are lots of times you just have to hear mommy, mommy, mommy. There are lots of things that you still have to assist them with because they are not fully independent yet. And it kind of affects my body system, especially my waist. My waist has gone through a lot. When I was pregnant with my first child, I used to have a muscle pull a lot. But you see, this one is like joint pull. It kind of holds my waist. I can hear the sound of my waist. I'm telling you, I will hear it. My husband has to be the one helping me to punch it back into the sockets. Oh my god. But anyway, like I've been told, no two pregnancies are the same. But I think it's more stressful when it's the second or the third because you know, you now have other children to take care of. Young children tend to stress their moms more than their dads. They will see their daddy sitting down there, they'll see just saying, Mommy, 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 I want to hug you. Mommy, I love you. Mommy, mwah. Mommy, thank you. The only major thing now that I'm kind of prayerful about is my mom's visa. So initially we applied for the visa, it was denied. And I think it's majorly because my mom is a nurse and there are usually worries that nurses don't want to go back to their country. So we just had to give them more information to let them know that this woman cannot leave her husband. What are you telling me? And to also follow it up with some additional documentation. And this is July, and I'm due early next month. I've been worried, I've been down, I've been prayerful to God. What I can just say is that there are lots of things that are happening underground, and we are trying to make it work. I just pray to God that by the next time I'm making a video, I'm making it with testimony that my mom's visa has been granted. I think I will stop here now. Just came here to share the testimony of how this is the first experience of being pregnant for above 32 weeks because my first pregnancy was just 31 weeks and 3 days. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to subscribe. Thank you and bye for now.